Well, hello and welcome to our special broadcast coming to you live from Doha, Qatar. This is all about the FIFA World Cup happening right here. And if you are feeling the Monday blues, well, let me tell you, you're not alone. I will join you there because, so used to watching here every single day. We're getting to see a match today, and today happens to be no game. So clearly, it is not something that football fans that have been present here in thousands have been used to, and probably you guys as well watching it on television. But tell you what, we've got you covered here on India Today because for the next half an hour or so, we'll bring you all the latest from Doha, Qatar, build up to those big two semi-finals that are coming in and continue with the football fever. Joining us also live on the show, our football analyst and Indian footballer Dalima Chhibber. But before I go to Dalima and get her to pick her favorites for the semi-final, let me tell you what's happening around here. Behind me, you see one of the very busy markets in Doha, and what you see is various fans wearing different colored shirts. So whether they are Croatian fans, whether they are Argentine fans, a lot of fans you can see throughout the day walking around these streets in Doha. And I thought that, you know what, I must mix in. I should just look like the part, be one of the fans. So I went a bit of merchandise shopping, and this is how it panned out. If you land up in the country that's hosting the FIFA World Cup, then you can't be walking around like me. By that I mean you can't be wearing just a regular shirt and jeans. You've got to mix in with the crowd, and by that I mean you've got to be wearing some kind of jerseys like this that you see behind me, or some sort of merchandise, whether they are jerseys like these, maybe hats or bandanas or various other things that are available here. So maybe it's time for me to head and do some merchandise shopping there. This is a common one for World Cup, is it? And these country ones also? 120, that would be about 2000 something in Indian rupees. Very expensive. All rates are like this. Oh, it's got Messi at the background. आप कहाँ से हो वैसे? कहाँ से?
इंडिया से।
इंडिया यार आप इंडिया से हो देखे इंडिया के लोग मिल गए तो हम भी इंडिया से हैं यार हम हमारे लिए कुछ स्पेशल प्राइस आप लगाए कहाँ से हो इंडिया में
इंडिया बिहार
बिहार से हैं तो यार बिहार से आप हैं हमारे लिए कुछ स्पेशल प्राइस वो नहीं जो टूरिस्ट के लिए है ये तो एक रख लो आई एम गोना बाय दिस द मेसी सो इसको क्या बोलते हैं शेख की ड्रेस को क्या
बोलते हैं तोप अरबी में तोप बोलते हैं इसको
Top.
Yeah.
You know, every World Cup has a special thing. I went to the 2010 FIFA World Cup that had the vuvuzelas. The 86 World Cup used to have the umbrero. So there's a special, like merchandise, regular merchandise that you will see, like, you know, scarves and flags and caps, a normal thing. But every World Cup has a special thing. And this World Cup, of course, has this top that you have. And then, oh, he's got the headscarf as well. Ah, yes. Spain ka scarf ek lenge. अर्जेंटीना का तोप ऑफ अर्जेंटीना और ये शेक वाली हेडगेयर और कुछ है जो लिया जा सकता है यार निकालो ये इंडिया का फ्लैग है तो स्टेडियम में अगर जाएंगे तो नो हाँ वेविंग द इंडिया फ्लैग चलो लेट्स डू द फाइनल प्राइस
ये आपको हम 80 रियल कर देंगे मुश्किल
चलो मैं नेगोशिएट करता हूँ मिलता हूँ आपसे
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Are you a real sheikh or a sheikh chili?
What kind of a question is that? I am, my dear friend, Shakespeare. All right, that was quite a smart-looking guy that was wearing the tope here, walking around the streets of Doha. Wonder who that was. Anyway, we know who's joining us on the show, our football analyst in Dalima Chhibber. Dalima, you know, it started with 32 teams. We are now left with the 4 teams. Any one of them can lift the World Cup title. But if I was to ask you, looking at all the games that have happened so far, which is that one team that has caught your eye in terms of the creativity, in terms of just the way that they've played their football?
I would like to name the underdogs here of the tournament, the only African country to be able to make it to the semi-finals, because the kind of football they have been able to display is very disciplined. It's so organized that we have barely seen any underdog team be able to perform at this level. At which, you make it to the tournament after a long time, and then you qualify to the group stages, and you upset some of the footballing giants. And I think that has been a huge standout in this tournament, and for them to not be able to concede any goal except for that one own goal says a lot for what kind of team Morocco is, and how they have been able to get themselves together, perform as a team on the field. And the kind of compact formation, the kind of discipline that they show in terms of organization in the team has been very crucial, because teams like Spain and Portugal have found it so hard to be able to score against them. So I feel like for one team that has really stood out is Morocco.
What do you make of our list of top 5 upsets? Do you agree with it, or do you have your own top 5 list, or which is the biggest upset according to you?
For me, the biggest upset was Brazil being knocked out of quarterfinals, because again, like other people, other football fans, I have been a Brazilian football team fan since growing up, because that was instilled in me since I was very young, and I grew up looking at the likes of Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Rivaldo, Roberto Carlos playing on the field, and I feel like this was the generation after years. This was the team that was being called the golden generation. And they've had a lot of successes in the past, and in the game they've been able to produce some big results. So I feel like I was expecting, like a lot of other football fans, for Brazil to go farther into the competition and probably reach the finals and be able to lift that trophy after 20 years. But for them to be able to get knocked out in a penalty shootout was a very upsetting moment. So for me, definitely it would be Brazil walking out of the World Cup the way they did, as the biggest upset for the tournament.
If I was to ask you one player that has disappointed the most this World Cup, who's the one that you're going to pick?
I think like everybody knows, and there seems to be a common opinion about it, that we wanted to see more of Cristiano Ronaldo on the field. We wanted to see more of his action. We wanted to see more of his contribution on the field. And I feel like somewhere in the World Cup run, he had a really good start. He set the record of scoring in all of the 5 World Cups. But I feel somewhere down the line, somewhere in the competition, he seemed to hit a rock where he was struggling to be able to find the back of the net, where he was struggling to be able to find himself on the score sheet, or be able to make those crucial decision making, to produce those decision making moments in the field. And even though we saw him come in the second half against Morocco in the quarterfinal, he barely had touches on the ball, and he barely was involved in a lot of crucial moments. So I feel like I would have wanted to see more of Cristiano Ronaldo, because we know he's a great player. He leaves a great legacy behind as he walks out of the World Cup. And even when the day he hangs his boot, we know he holds some records that are unmatched, and his name is going to be talked about in the footballing industry for years to come. But yes, we failed to see a lot of him in this World Cup.
All right, interesting times then for Cristiano Ronaldo. Not quite the tournament that he would have liked, but his club future is also under doubt. At the moment, doesn't have a club that he could participate or play top-level European football in. There are a few offers, but Cristiano Ronaldo hasn't made it very clear where is it that he would like to play his club football. As far as his international career is concerned, he's still been a bit coy with his reply as to whether he will be here for the next FIFA World Cup or not. But at 37, he was struggling to get into the first playing 11. So 4 years down the line, whether he'll even be good enough to be part of that Portugal squad is another matter. Though he has another international tournament to look forward to. He's kind of said that he wants to play the Euro. That's going to be there in 2 years' time, though he's already won a Euro with Portugal. So we'll have to keep watching what happens with one of the greatest players to have played the sport. But for the moment, that's all the time that we have on this special broadcast that was coming to you live from Doha in Qatar. Dalima Chhibber, thanks so much for joining us and sharing us with us those thoughts about the match, about what's going to be coming up. Two big semi-finals in which you're going to see Argentina take on Croatia, and the other one that will also feature an upset of sort, team that has been doing a lot of upsets in Morocco, and that is a team really to watch out for. They'll be up against the defending champion in France. We'll have you all the latest from Doha in Qatar on India Today on our special program titled The Greatest Show on Earth. For the moment, this is Nikhil Nas signing off.